Hello, Sylvan Bell coming to you live from Oahu. It is August 30th, 2015 on a bright day at 7:52 in the morning. And I went through this whole process and I did a bunch of videos on phrases to take out of your vocabulary. And somebody had written to me, I think it was Marketing Authority, had written to me and said, hey, look, you know what? The last one that you did, I don't quite necessarily agree with. So I thought I'd give you some clarification. And the question was, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? That was the question I said take out of your vocabulary. Now, if you do this the right way, it's cool and there's not much of a problem with it. But when you do it a wrong way, here's where it becomes a challenge. So, you know, somebody will be in a sales process and I'll be watching them and they'll use, can I ask you a question as a catchphrase. Can I ask you a question? 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 Now, if you're peppering it in and you're using it occasionally, it is a polite thing to do. You can say, hey, look, you know what? Can I ask you a question at this point? Perfectly fine, okay? Here's where the challenge, here's where the problem is. Here's like where the rubber meets the road and where you're like, okay, I get this now. So a lot of times, salespeople will use this like as the aha, right? So the buyer says something like maybe it's an objection and the objection goes, you know what, Scott, that's cool, but you know, at this point we just got to think about it, right? Now, if I'm the salesperson and I do this wrong, I'm going to be irritated or I'm going to do it like as a counterpoint. I'm like, you know what, can I ask you a question? That's where it's going to get you in trouble. So, excuse me. If you use it occasionally, it's not that much of a big deal. Use it a lot, it becomes a catchphrase. Now, a lot of times when a salesperson's under stress, they end up going with these catchphrases, and this is one of them that they get caught up in. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? And sometimes you'll see the buyer, like they're counting how many times it's said in their head. That's where it becomes a problem. Yes, it's polite. Sure, ask it if you really do have a question. Use it sparingly. But if you're using it in the objection process or somebody's got a problem or a concern and you're using it like as a counterpoint, like, aha, I got you. Can I ask you a question? With too much energy and too much emphasis, that's where it's gonna hurt you as a salesperson, okay? So, this is where I have a problem with this question. Can I ask you a question? 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 That's where I have a problem with it, where it's done too much or it's done as like an aha, gotcha point for the buyer and it creates some challenges, okay? Sure, polite thing to do. You could ask occasionally, sparingly, but not every other question that you ask because that buyer's gonna be listening and go, all right, just freaking ask me a question. Just do it. Now, if you could do a small favor for me in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that'd be fantastic. To the right or to the left, there's a subscribe button. Subscribe. And then send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, Sylvan Bell. Only Scott Bell, Seminole, coming to you live from Oahu. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.